him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him
What's up, you guys? Brandon Kibler here. Starting something new and starting something that I should do that fits me in my world more. So I'm going to start documenting my day-to-day, which obviously incorporates the gym. I've always said that I want to do this, and I always kind of have FOMO of not doing it, when I was younger. I had some old videos in like 2010, and I'm 33 now, so that was a long time ago. That was 18, 17, 19 years old. And I've been competing in powerlifting since 2010. I've trained at gyms that people in the gym world dream of. I trained at, Barbell Brigade. I've trained at Big Texas in Texas. I trained at Kratos Gym in Orange County. I train at Mission Fitness in LA now. Trained at Iron Addicts in Miami before they got raided. I've trained at some amazing spots, and I like to think that I have had a pretty solid lifting career. And I've always wanted to film that, but the reality is that that's not my lifestyle. I'm not a full-time coach. I don't live in a gym. I currently drive a lot for work. I work in a very, very fun industry, while at the same time trying to keep that lifting route there. And as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that it's harder than many people think. It's funny when you see these 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds be like, no excuses, get to the gym. And when you start working, and I mean really working and really having a job, it's harder. It's the truth. And I've wanted to document, the reality of trying to compete, as a quote-unquote professional powerlifter. I put it in quotes because no one else cares except powerlifters. But the reality of life, and the reality is some of us have kids. I don't have kids yet. Will in the future. But the reality is we work a lot, and then you try to get to the gym, and then you're prepping for a competition, and there's a lot that goes into that. And it actually is like I consider some of us a little crazy to be trying to have what is a normal life as well as competing in powerlifting. I got my 2K total last year, got 2054, and there was a long adventure to get to that total with job changes, moves, and just life in general. And I've stuck with it because it's such a root and just a fundamental non-negotiable in my life to go to the gym. And then I also compete in powerlifting. And the reality is that a lot of people, in my opinion, so maybe not in the reality, a lot of people stop doing it because life gets hectic. And I, at this current time being, am looking at maybe competing in 2027. And at this current time, I competed last year. I didn't compete last year. Wow, time flies by. I competed in 2024. This is 2026. So I've had about a year off. And that goes with a lot of stuff. That goes with the work and taking a step back, but I haven't not gone to the gym. But I want to compete in 2027. So what I would like to start doing is documenting that prep. And that means for this current year, I'm getting back into the powerlifting structure, but I'm also going to be taking time to reevaluate the needs that be in the areas that need to be fixed, as well as just getting stronger and getting my body acclimated. So when I start a prep, it's go time. I think a lot of people start a prep and they're like, all right, now we do it. But I, again, looking at how long of a time frame I have with what I do for work, with trying to incorporate so many other things, I need to look at it as a long-term thing to really get the total that I want, to really jump into a prep and be like, it's time for prep, So what I am planning on doing is 2027, I will be squatting, benching, and deadlifting, but also incorporating what I feel is needed. And that's that extra bodybuilding assets that goes with the volume and creating that intensity and being able to have the shorter workouts, have more intense workouts, and having the variations of training that I think help me when I go to a prep. Because obviously when you get to a prep, then it's more focused on traditional squat, bench, and deadlift. And what I would like to do is document that adventure, which also includes me sitting in traffic and driving to one of my clients right now, and just filming that process. So that is what this is going to be. I believe today I'm going to be either doing shoulders and arms, or I will be doing deadlift and back. It depends on which gym I end up going to. So the first time deadlifting was last week. I hit 639 after not deadlifting for about a year almost. Squats, I've gotten up to a nice 600 after, again, not squatting for 8 months. And again, it's not that I haven't been going to the gym. It's just that I've been going to the gym and being quicker and doing leg press and things like that, because squatting and deadlifting, they take a lot out of you. And I happen to also want to go slower with it. So this process is going to be how to keep that going. So building up to a nice 600 top set, doing drop sets after that, and being the wannabe bodybuilder that I want to be at this time being, which hopefully will make my body more prepped and more ready to go. So when I decide to do a prep, I am full bore ready to go. Again, I think I am more of the regular person in this sport, as in, again, I'm not a full-time coach. I don't own a gym. I don't have a gym. I am getting to the hours at which I work out can be anywhere from 4 in the afternoon to 7 at night. And I think that's what I want to document. It's not necessarily the struggles, but it's the reality of trying to get a goal outside of, what it'd be your regular life. So the goal that I'd be trying to go for is getting as close to a 2100 plus total. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this, and excited to do it. And again, this is me doing what I think I should have done a long time ago, but not doing it the way I should have done it back then. Back then, it would have been, more of the traditional, I'm going to the gym, here's my pre-workout, going to the gym at different hours that I want to go. But this is more going and trying to fit in the realities of life and being a powerlifter. And I know that sounds really easy for some people, but for those who are in this sport and have the chaotic life of whether it be having kids, having a full-time job, doing this, doing that, I'm not making it sound like it's hard, but there is a little bit of it's easier to not do it, but it's also more satisfying to do it. And it's kind of what I would like to be documenting as I move forward. So, on the road, heading to an account right now.
Car chop is about. You get professionals like Zach, and they're going to point you in the right direction. I see anything good over there?
And to go with life in the car, first meal in the car, just chicken and rice. Meals normally in the morning, potatoes, egg whites, eggs. I have a smoothie as well, so technically this is like the third meal. 12:23, running a little bit late on that, but is what it is. Just met with one of my clients. We're doing a program for them for Valentine's Day weekend, which is chaotic down here because of the All-Star weekend. It's also President's Day weekend and also Valentine's Day weekend. So chaotic, which is why I'm choosing to eat in the parking lot that I'm at right now, because I'm going to be sitting in traffic for a little bit longer and I'm hungry. So chicken and rice. Alrighty. So we're going to the Rich Piana days for anybody that watched those videos back in the day. Eating and driving. We got beef, some salsa, avocado, keeping it easy. Looks nasty, but keeping it easy. For anybody that's familiar with Southern California, I was downtown. Now I'm in Torrance. I think I said that earlier. But yeah, we're about to go hit a place called Mom Said Yes and eating while we're on our way. All right, we're all done here. That's a wrap for the day. Now we're gonna head to the gym, which I think we're like an hour away. So eat some more food, and then I think we're gonna deadlift today. Feeling deadlift. Alrighty, we just got to the Great Mission Fitness Center. What a beautiful sunset. What a beautiful gym. About to change. We'll go hit some deadlifts. That is a wrap for the day. I'm gonna drive home and see my beautiful wife. Post-workout shake. I may do voiceovers on the workouts. I don't know, maybe. But work up to 585 for a triple. I haven't, besides last week, I haven't deadlifted in 8 months. So like the goal today was intensity and to be done with deadlifts within 30 minutes. I have a tendency, especially within prep, to take my time, which is important. But right now, the goal is like, move your butt. I wanted to be done with my workout in about an hour and 15. Did some extra cardio to get my 10,000 steps in, which is kind of a goal each day. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. But obviously, I live in my truck during the day, so getting 10,000 steps is actually a decent number for me. And the rest of the workout was just some rows. I did a variation on the hyperextension that my buddy Nate reminded me of. It just feels good. I know it looks a little goofy, but it just feels good. And getting it at that angle. But yeah, so next week, we may either go in for a double, 2 sets of 3, or maybe we go for a set of 5. But keeping it at that weight, trying to hold back the ego, because again, the goal is intensity.